Yo, I think it's about time y'all let somebody from the Bay step in and decode this movie Black Panther. It's only right. Wouldn't y'all agree? Oh yeah, and before I forget, I dedicate this movie decoding, to my dear sweet brother Numse.
My dear sweet brother Numse. I can see you're busy right now.
Brother Panic, let's get it.
These are the tales that I tell so well. These are the tales, the freaky tales.
Alright, so we finna go ahead and get into this decoding of this movie, man. I gave y'all about a week to go out, see the movie, hear other people's opinions, hear other people's decoding, you know what I'm saying, before I just came in and just shook shit up, you know what I'm saying. So the format of this video is going to be a little different from most videos. It's going to be a lot of cuts, so because I'm going to be actually watching the movie, going through it, and giving my breakdown. I got my paper and my pen. I'm gonna take some notes. Before I get into this whole decoding and this breakdown of this movie, let me just say, out of the gates, the movie is a good idea and it is a great movie, okay? So I would definitely recommend you to go see it if you haven't seen it. Definitely support melanated directors and melanated actors for sure, you know what I'm saying? Especially people from the Bay. He did the positives in the movie. I'll start with that. And you know, it's very liberating and very inspiring to see, you know, children be inspired by watching this movie. Children from all different colors, all different creeds and backgrounds, all kind of want to be Black Panther. It's very different to see a little Mexican kid or a little white child or an Asian child want to go put on a Black Panther mask and Black Panther toys and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So that is a really inspiring thing to see. We've never really seen that before. Even with that being said, seeing our people, melanated people, on the screen in such abundance, and that it not being a slave movie or some shit like that is very refreshing. So definitely go out to see the movie. Overall, the movie's great. Let's get into the real shit. With the music. But before I get into the movie, I have to let you in on some things, especially about how Hollywood works. Hollywood uses media, television, movies, for social engineering purposes. Very rarely will you get something that's just truly fun. Remember, things are called television programming. Hollywood isn't just an industry that just so happened to come up and we love it for this entertainment. They use it. Hitler used propaganda through the media and things of that nature, and unfortunately, some of these tactics are still being practiced, and they kind of go under the radar in a very covert fashion. Hollywood drives its agendas of how they want to shape society through the movies. So green-lighting a movie means giving a movie the thumbs up for it to be made. When you're dealing with motion picture studios, I'm not going to say any names here. You know who the major big dogs are. But there's a reason why some movies get put out and some movies don't. Just like I said, the reason why I gave Brother Panic a shout out is because I learned a lot about how Hollywood works from him. So, for example, someone may write a script. They may write a script and the script will be revised. People will do revisions. Unknown entities or known entities will do revisions repeatedly until the script meets a certain criteria. Then the movie gets greenlit. That means you have the green light to go ahead and make it, and you have this big budget to make this film. So this movie was greenlit. Now, why would a very inspirational movie to melanated people, indigenous people, disenfranchised people be made? Why would anyone want the have-nots to feel empowered? Well, they'll give you a little sugar and then put a little salt on it as well. So what that means is, yes, on the surface, the story is great. Black Panther comes in, he saves the village, he gets the motherfucking trophy, he gets the love interest, the sun sets on Wakanda, right? Cool, cool, cool. But you have to realize the story is separate from what you see. The story is one thing, and what you see is something totally different. Totally different. And it's very important to acknowledge what you see, because what you see is what embeds itself into the subconscious mind. Now, the reason why the subconscious mind is important is because everything you do, what kind of person you are, your character, your habits, your fears, your loves, all stem from the subconscious mind. I'll give you an example. The story was beautiful, but what we seen was, don't be a revolutionary. Don't go against the system. You'll die. Eric Killmonger, the antagonist, or Michael B. Jordan, was the bad or the negative role, right? But what he stood for was, he was us. He was the lost people from Africa that settled in America. He represented the conscious African American, or the conscious melanated being that got separated from his ancestors from Africa. So every time Eric Killmonger would come on scene, they played trap music. You know what I'm saying? Go back and watch it. It's crazy. But that was just to tap in to your DNA, to let you know symbolically who he was, that you are him. And they casted Michael B. Jordan and used this director for a few different reasons. Like I said, Hollywood is very meticulous on how they cast. Not a spell, but pretty much a spell. How they cast for movie roles. People how cast, spell, and cast for movie roles, kind of like the same thing. Because you related to Michael B. Jordan's characters that he's played already in many movies. Creed, Fruitvale Station. You feel like you are him because you can relate to him because he's done such a good job. So they casted him for Eric Killmonger. All right? So, okay. So Eric Killmonger represents us here. You see what I'm saying? And what are they saying? If you are a revolutionary, if you stand up against the system, off with your head.
We have to defend ourselves. We intend to defend ourselves. We did so in the past, and we're going to do it today, and the day after that, and the day after that. Because only through this proper example of the self-defense and the proper example of retaliation, and by letting these people know that we move from some basic laws.
Eventually you'll die. The same reason why the black guy always dies in the movie. It's not the story of the movie, it's about what you see. That's what gets planted in the subconscious. So the fact that all the tribes were fighting each other, and I'm definitely doing a straight spoiler, okay? That's what we seen. We seen women fighting the men. We seen red, and they used these colors, and it's very important with the colors, and I'll touch on that in a minute. They used women wearing the red, the men wearing the blue. They were fighting towards the end. Of course, they made up and made love, but that's cool. But it was what you see. What other type of visuals did they have? They had a few more, but I'll get into more of that as I do unfold this decoding. But yeah, so some more of the symbology that you've seen in the movie is the movie opened up with Too Short. See, they use music, right, to tap into your DNA bank. So, like I said, the Hollywood gave us some sugar just so they could throw some salt. But the director of this film, he was very smart. He threw some things in there that maybe Hollywood didn't catch. You know what I'm saying? But I did, and that's why this decoding will be a little bit different from a lot of other decodings that you have seen. Okay, so like I said, the director opened up with it starting in the Bay Area. All right, started in the Bay Area, and they were playing Too Short. That went straight into your DNA. Even if you didn't know, it did, right? Because Too Short was pretty much the beginning of Bay Area rap. You know what I'm saying? Per se. I mean, he really put the Bay or Oakland on the map. Now, it's funny that it opens up in Oakland because you do have the correlation between the movie Black Panther and the actual Black Panthers that started in Oakland. Remember, they're throwing some subconscious things into the psyche. So the movie starts with Too Short slapping that Oakland funk, you feel me? And the movie ends with Mozzie, another Northern California up-and-coming rapper, which is the new wave of what's going on in the Bay. So they're tapping into that DNA bank through the music, through the root chakra. You have to pay attention to that. So by now, most of you have seen the story, so I'm not going to go through, the movie little by little. I'm just going to give you the things that probably were hidden, that hit that subconscious. If you look at the movie, there was definitely chakra work being implemented in the movie. For example, the warrior chick, I'm not sure what her name was in the movie, but the bald head chick, she was always in red. This, as an observer, puts you in the mode of foundation, war, lower vibration, war, red. His love interest, I forgot what her or that young lady's name was, but his ex-girlfriend, who he saved in the beginning, she was always in green. Go back and look. She always wore green. This represented the heart chakra, represented love, compassion, always in green. Black Panther himself was in a black suit. Now, we can all argue if we want to say if this black suit represented melanin in the skin, and when he absorbed energy, it kind of makes sense. But the suit also did have this kinetic glow that was violet, which represents the higher chakras, the crown or the pineal. So as you can see, they're giving you the full, well, not the full range, but pretty much this whole spectrum of the chakra system in the movie, because it's constantly in it. It's constantly there, like it doesn't change. That's how you know when something's there on purpose. Some things about Bast, the feline cat goddess from Egypt, that was definitely in there. The herb. Now, it's kind of hard to decode what the herb was that he was taking, just because it always alluded to him going into the astral realm or talking to the ancestors. I would want to say the herb is belladonna. I would want to say that, but that's still up in the air, and it's very hard. And whatever herb they did based off of, they're not going to really put it out there what that was. But I'm pretty sure it's based on something real. When the movie opens and the kids in Oakland, when I say look, I'm going to say the town because it's more comfortable for me to say the town. So when I say the town, that means Oakland. And for those who don't know, like Oak Town, the town. That's what we call the town out here. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call Oakland out here, the town. So the fact that when the movie opens, the kids are playing basketball in the town, and they look up and they see the lights in the sky like a spaceship, right? And how when Eric Kilgore's father gets killed by by T'Chaka, King T'Chaka, the first Black Panther, kills him, and then he flies off into the spaceship, and how you're looking up at it, and how the kid was looking up at it. That represented that these things that we may see in the sky, those are our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? Those are our people. So that's what that represented. And I thought that was very well done, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was very well done. I could appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, my friend Z definitely touched on that and when she broke the movie down. But yeah, that represented the ancestors, because most of us have seen something. We're like, oh, you know, it's not little green man. It's probably your cousin, your uncle, like in the movie said, them your people. Believe that. Of course, there were phrases all throughout the movie speaking about the oppressor and how let's see what else. How the slaves jumped off the boat. He'd rather die and be with his ancestors. And speaking of the ancestors, every time they would bury them in the sand, the red sands, again tapping into the root chakra, he would go to the astral realm. If you peeped, every time, most of the times he went to the astral realm, it was a purple background, again representing the higher consciousness of the crown chakra. Let's see. They spoke about the 5 tribes, and they left a few clues on who exactly the tribes were. The ape tribe, or the gorilla tribe, they made reference to the god Hanuman. Now, Hanuman is a Hindu god. So what they're saying without saying is that pretty much all things in existence on this physical plane, especially when it comes down to racial identity, all kind of started from all started from Africa. So they're even saying in so many words that people from India are African, because they made the reference that they are a part of the Hanuman tribe. So there were still these references of gods and tribes, but still originating in Africa. Another clue was they went to Hong Kong. Another clue was they went to London. So they dropped a few clues on the 5 tribes being the 5 main races. Now, I know a lot of people want to think that it's only one race, but as you can see, they dropped it and let you know there's at least 5, if not more. Again, Eric Kilgore represented, the conscious black man in America, and when he even referenced that, when he took the throne, he referenced that he had the tribes were spread across the whole world, and they were ready to take on the technology to overthrow the oppressor. So again, this is more facts pointing to how they shut down any fighting spirit that you may have had pumping in your heart subconsciously, though. You know what I'm saying? Because Eric Kilgore really wasn't a bad guy. If you think about it, he was coming home to help. He went back to Africa. See, there's stories inside the story. He went back to Africa to reclaim his throne. That's what people, or melanated people in America, need to do, but we don't. But he did it, and he got the throne, and then he died. So trying to free his people. That's the subconscious story. Eric Kilgore died trying to free his people. That's what we seen. It wasn't the direct storyline, but that's what the subconscious mind seen through the imagery. You see what I'm saying? Also, of course, they had to write in the heroic white guy who had to save the day, because without him, the ships would have fled Wakanda with the technology that would have eventually liberated the world from the oppressor. So, you know, the white guy did have to save the day. So that was definitely written in. Also, and I'm jumping around a little bit, that's why I gave you guys a week to watch it, because it was too much to really get into. So, also, when the white dude had got shot, they brought him back to Wakanda. I keep wanting to say Zamunda. I'm getting Coming to America and Black Panther mixed up. Wakanda, not Zamunda. You know what I'm saying? So when he had got shot, they brought him back to Wakanda to heal him. This represents, I'm trying not to get the video flagged or removed. This represents a little bit of history where the people of Egypt open up their doors to the non-melanated being. He comes in, and you know the rest of the story. I don't want the video to be flagged. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of represented that. But you know, just to, you know what I'm saying, finish off the decode, how the movie ends with kind of ended with Mozzie playing in the background and the kids at the playground, and Black Panther dude talking about he's buying these buildings to create, you know, a technology center for the youth. Again, this is more reference to the shift happens in the West, specifically in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? This represents the new breed, the new shift, especially it being in the Bay Area, the heart of Silicon Valley and the heart of technology, where technology really is. Him saying that he's starting this program, and his sister and his girl was going to spearhead it. Again, and I have to say this, they did put the Black woman in very prominent roles, and that's, again, is also ushering in the symbolism of the divine feminine and the shift that we're currently going through right now about that. Now, us actually being in the Bay Area, in the middle of this technologically fortified surrounding area that we actually live in, is very, very true. And also saying that, you know, melanated people will definitely play a very strong part in whatever is going to come. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, the whole point of me even decoding this movie wasn't just for fun, but more so to make more people aware and to look a little deeper sometimes when you're watching the movie. Of course, you're going to get your enjoyment on the surface. You're going to get, you know, the feel-good part of it or the scary part or whatever, but be aware of symbolism, colors, sounds, and images, you know what I mean, that are the undertones of what movies are really designed to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is really, really important, especially if you have children. You know, you take your kids to the movies or you play movies at home. It's movie night. You know what I'm saying? Because whether you know it or not, you're being influenced and you're being programmed. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down. And, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep it funky all the way. You know what I'm saying? If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want more videos like this and tools to aid you in your ascension process, shameless plug, but has to be said, please log on to newmysteryschool.com. And whether you purchase an item, whether you book a study session, or whether you just donate, everything is appreciated. I would rather you buy a product or a study session or getting something as an exchange, but donations are accepted as well and greatly appreciated, you know, because to keep this up is very, very difficult. Very difficult. And if it's 50 cents, if it's $1, anything that you can give is greatly appreciated. Like, for real. I don't know how to express that enough. Yeah, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that. With that being said, you already know the drill. Keep them third eyes open. I'm out.